Hi everyone, and thank you for watching my iComp presentation. My name is Taylor Weddle. I took young adult literature because I would describe myself as not only a reader, but a writer. I was intrigued by books at a young age, mostly Junie B. Jones and the Babysitter's Club. If any books had pictures and could keep my attention, I was all for it. But I was the only person in my family who liked to read, so it was a solitary activity for me. But it wasn't until I came to middle school when I began reading for the context of books. I began reading books like The Click and the A-List because they were people who lived extravagant lives, but yet they dealt with real issues like boys, school, and parents. But as I got older, my interest in books changed because the issues changed. They didn't stop at parents and school, but they changed into much bigger issues such as drugs and alcohol. I found these new books in a little section in the library in the back corner, just called YA. I didn't know what it stood for, but at the hometown library where I was from, there was a whole shelf dedicated to this genre. I got myself a library card and began checking out different books, but I was only allowed to get 2 books at a time, so I spent a lot of time there. One author that drew me to young adult literature section was Ellen Hopkins. She wrote about real things in life in a poetic fashion. I always looked up to her, and I always was on the prowl for a new novel, and I stayed up to date with all her releases. Of course, I read books like Harry Potter or The Hunger Games, but there was so much raw detail Ellen Hopkins gave. I could find myself in her characters, and it made sense to me. She could talk about addiction and depression and self-worth, and it made sense. I had to find myself in them, and I watched these characters grow. They spoke to me. I've learned that YA covers a large range of material. It doesn't just stop at drugs, love, or illnesses. And the books we've read, like The Outsiders, I saw kids acting like adults. There were so many elements that changed my outlook on reading. Internal, external. There was conflict. There were enemies, and there were social groups, which were very true in any society. In Conviction, we get an imperfect narrator, despite their perfect life. In Monster, we saw race issues, social justice issues, but as young adult literature goes, we have a wide range of information and characters we can learn from, and we can find ourselves and meet new people. This genre defines me as a reader of YA, and most of all, as a writer. Every day I get to learn something more from authors like John Green, Ellen Hopkins, and even Judy Blume. I get to grow up with the characters and change my outlook on stuff. I hope every day to get better at writing, get better at reading, because this is a craft that I thoroughly enjoy. And I hope that you enjoy it as well. Thank you for watching.